Hey guys, this is Doug Will Fix It, and we've got this microwave here. It's got quite a major issue. So the symptoms are, it doesn't sound the same as it used to. It's a lot quieter. You know, there's more of a buzzing noise when it's normally running, but now it's just going, the plate's turning and the food's warming up, but it sounds a lot quieter. So something's definitely wrong with it. The second symptom is when you leave anything in there for maybe a couple of minutes or more, the thing just turns itself off, like completely powers off. There's no lights, no nothing, it just dies. And I think that's a classic symptom for overheating. So the system is has a safety cut-off temperature, so it just cuts the power completely if the thing starts to overheat. Now, to put the two things together, the lack of the much more quieter noise and the fact that it's overheating, it probably points to an issue with the fan in the back. So you can normally see when the microwave is running, you can see obviously there's a light inside. You can always see, if you have a look through the vents at the back, you can probably see if the fan's spinning or not. It may just be stuck. It may be stuck. It may be jammed. It may be gone. It could be the motor's dead. So it's probably that. And from what I can see on here, it is the fan. So I'm going to show you how to check it. Watch this. 1 second. So I'm going to power it on for about 30 seconds, and you can see, or you can see the flickering on the dash in it on the digital display. Okay, so I'm gonna power it on for 30 seconds. 1 second. Now, if you look through the back, you can see there's a light, and actually there's a fan in there, and it's not turning at all. It seems to be dead. So that looks like it is an issue with the fan potentially. So our job is now to try and change that and swap the fan out. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So obviously the first thing you need to do is, if you're not sure what you're doing, don't mess with this thing, okay? Read the warnings, read everything, okay? Look, what does it say? Don't mess with it. And definitely don't open it up while the power's on, okay? So don't mess with it. Make sure it's unplugged 100% from the mains, so there's no risk of shock or anything like that. Like I said, this is the disclaimer. Do not play with this if you don't know what you're doing, or if you're lacking a lot of confidence. Get a pro to do it. Can't be costing that much. It's all good. All right, and microwaves are not that expensive nowadays anyway. So you can see there's a screw that's been removed from here. There's one here, there's one at the top here, and there's probably one here. Oh, that one's still in. Sometimes you also see a screw on the sides, so you just take those off to get this cover off. So we're gonna do that first. So I've got the cover off. You can see it needs a bit of a clean. And you can see the fan is right here, and it's moving freely, so it's not jammed, it's not stuck, it is moving freely. So I'm guessing that the fan may be dead, and you can see it's actually housed in this plastic framework. So we're gonna have to get that off. So the fan keeps this cool, which is what, read the warnings. So don't power it on, like I said, keep it out. So we need to get the fan out, change it over for a replacement, and hopefully that should do the trick. So I've got a replacement here. So you can see, if you look closely enough, you can actually see the model number. Let's try and get the focus right. You can see the model number on it. So I basically ordered the same one from eBay. Came within 2 days, pretty sick. So I've got it here. Need to swap this out, and that's what we're gonna do. So the first thing we're gonna do is remove this plastic casing, and remove this casing, screw here, a couple of clips here. It should come out. We'll have to disconnect some of the wiring up here as well, so we can remove this board and get access to the fan completely on its own. So we're going to do that. So remember, make sure that the power is fully off, the mains is disconnected. Do not mess with this otherwise, okay? And don't mess with it if you're not sure what you're doing. So just stay. So we're going to unscrew this to get the plastic housing for the fan. Get the screw out. What I want to also do, and in here you can see the fan's got a couple of pins, electrical, so we're just going to unplug those. So we'll remember it's brown. We'll remember it's brown on the left and yellow on the right. Okay, I'll do that in a second. Let me just get this off. I'll probably just unscrew the circuit board from the top. Okay, so that's out of the way. Now I just need to remove these clips. So I've disconnected the wires. I've got this out, so I'm just going to hopefully just try and unclip this thing and then get complete access to the fan. Let's push these in a bit, just so you can see what I'm doing. I'm just trying to push these clips through. So I completely removed the housing with the fan intact. Okay, so now the job is to replace this. Yeah, so we're gonna have a look at that. Okay, this should be pretty straightforward. So we just need to take the propeller off. Simple, clips off, no problem. And then you can see that there's two screws here. We open them up and this whole unit should come off, and then we'll just do a straight swap with our one and put the propeller back on and put everything back together, and fingers crossed it should be okay. So I'm just gonna take the screws are out. Gonna remove this, so now you can see it's out. Maybe it's just burned out. I have no idea why it's not working. No idea why it's not working. You can see it's moving freely, but it just seems to be dead. I'm hoping it is the fan, maybe it's something else, but let's just go with that. So I think it was like this, right? Okay, so there's you can see these little pins right here, so just get the fan sitting in there. Pretty good. Let's have a look at it the other way around. Looks pretty centered. Okay, put the screws back in, one there, so give me a sec. Okay, so the new fan is back, the screws are in, and then, sorry, the motor's in, the new motor's in, so the screws are in, so you can see it's fixed in place, the pins are accessible, and then what we do is we reattach the fan, the propeller I should say. Make sure you get it on the right way around, so it's sucking the air in, not sucking the other way out. And there's a little groove, a little slot in there, so make sure you line it up properly, otherwise it won't go in. That's it. And make sure it spins freely. Actually, it sounds a lot smoother than the other one. The other one's a little clunkier. This one seems to move a bit much nicer. So maybe there is something wrong with the motor. Maybe the motor is gone. Anyway, so that's done. So not too far down. About there. You can see it's moving freely, yeah? Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to get this back into the microwave itself, so give us a second. Okay, so remember, this actually goes in like this. You have to clip the two bottom bits in first, into these little grooves here, then put the top screw in, screw the circuit board back, connect the pins back up, and you can retest it. But remember, when you retest it, close this case. Don't leave, put the case back on, and then retest it. Don't test it with the microwave open, because obviously there's microwave radiation going on. You don't want to get hit by it, get a zap, alright? So be real careful. Don't mess with this unless you know what you're doing. Like I said, this is not something for the average person to do. Just get your guy in the shop to sort it out, a couple of quid, and you'll be good to go. Alright, so let's get this thing slotted in. Okay, so I've clipped it back in. I'm just going to put the circuit board back into position. There's a little clip and a screw that goes with it, so that's got to be put back. Okay, that's fine. I'm just put this screw in to hold this framework, this housing in place. One second. Let's get that on. So this this thing doesn't move. So that's now in. Guys, so the screw's back in. I've plugged in everything here, brown and yellow like we said before. The one mistake I made is I put the fan on the wrong way around. So now it's correct. So make sure you get that right. Make sure you get that right, okay? I've had to just pull it out and swap it around. I did actually have it on the wrong way compared to the previous. I went back and looked through the video just to make sure. So now it's on good, and you can close it all up once you're happy, and then test it. Remember, don't test it without closing it first, because you don't want to get a dose of stuff. All right, so let's just quickly do that. Okay, so we're going to give it a test. It's a bit noisier now, so I can see the fan is spinning. I know you might be able to see it on camera. Watch when it slows down. Watch when it slows down. You can see the blades of the fan spinning, yeah? So we're back in business. There was an issue with the dead fan. It looks okay now. So please like the video, sub the channel. Catch me in the next one. Peace out. See you guys later.